welcome to this edition of Buncombe Live. I think you're going to find this really interesting. I've got a lot of questions today. We're out here in front of the courthouse in Pack Square Park, and I'm with Donna Clark, the Communications Director for the Pack Square Conservancy, correct?
Correct.
Correct. And I'm going to ask her every question that I could gather that you wanted to know about this park. People pass it. I know if you've come through downtown, you've seen construction. Not all the construction in downtown is y'all's fault.
No, it's not.
It's not. But for a long time, this has been cordoned off with a fence. You did have some green felt over it, and then you rolled that up, and now you can see in, and it's beginning to take shape.
Right.
Yeah.
We're pleased.
Yeah, so I'm going to ask her some questions and find out, and I urge you to come down and check it out, even if you can only peek through the fence. It's very interesting, and it's really taken shape here.
Yes.
How long have you been working here? Now, I can remember, I think it was 2005, there used to be a street through here, a road through here, and
there were several streets through here, and we had several phases of construction, and that's what is a little bit confusing, not just to outsiders, but to us. We started with the infrastructure at the end of 2005.
So that's the underworking.
Yes, that's when you make a huge mess, and you put in a lot of things under the ground, and then you bury them so nobody can see what you've been doing.
And it looks like you haven't done anything.
It does. It really does. And so people say, what is all that about? I don't see anything. But we worked for about 16 months on the infrastructure, all the way from here, this area right in front of the city and county buildings, all the way up to where the monument is in Pack Square. All of this 6.5 acre area is Pack Square Park.
So it's not just in front of the city and county building.
It is not.
It goes all the way up in front of the old Axona building, the Biltmore building now.
Right.
And where the pigs used to be, the little...
Yes, and we'll return.
Pigs will be back?
Pigs will be back soon.
Okay.
And I'll tell you that one of the things that we were trying to do is to integrate several significant and historic spaces into an area that was more user-friendly, more pedestrian-friendly, more family-friendly. I know I came down to Shindig one time with my grandson, who was about 3 at the time. And, you know, there's streets around, and it's just hard. We've integrated the grassy area so that we have fewer streets in the internal part of the park. So we have a more continuous lawn that will be a little safer. You'll have fewer streets to cross in this area at this end of the park. And we eliminated that diagonal street that ran through the park. And we just reclaimed a little bit of our public space from the automobile.
We kind of put it back together.
Yes.
Now, two of the biggest questions I had, probably the number one question of people who have been down here and looked around, these columns here behind us, what are they? I've heard everything from flames are going to shoot out of the top of them.
Let us hope not.
Okay. So what are those for?
The columns are part of an art project. One of the best things about Pack Square Park for a lot of us is that we have 4 regional artists who are creating original works for Pack Square Park. And interestingly, 2 of those artists are working in the stage area. You can look at the stage and see handmade tiles.
They're beautiful.
All along the wall of the stage. If you can look down, you can see that they're bright blue glazed bricks being incorporated into the paving. Now these have not been placed in the actual paving yet, so they're not going to stick up like this. But the ones up there, you can see if you walk up that area to that area, they're in the paving. And the other art project on the stage itself has to do with these columns. The columns are going to hold up a very lightweight, undulating stainless steel pergola.
What in the world is a pergola?
A pergola is got narrow stainless steel tubing that's kind of woven together in a very loose way so that it doesn't block your view, but it forms an interesting backdrop to the stage. So it's very lightweight.
So it's art.
Yes, it is art.
Will it be like a canopy for any purpose, or it's art? Like a backdrop to be pretty?
It's a backdrop, and at some point, I suspect, in the future, we will create some kind of a canopy to put over the stage when it's needed.
Right.
But one of the priorities in designing this end of the park is not to block our very distinctive courthouse and our very distinctive city hall.
Right.
These are two buildings that are fine examples of their type, and we wanted not to block that.
Okay.
So we have created something that's going to go here, but you'll find that it's very open and airy looking and fairly transparent.
So they're not flames, they're not lights. There's another piece missing, and it's going to go
Yes,
on there.
yes, and
It
part of
makes
it is
sense.
finished. The central span of the pergola is done, and people can see a rendering of it on our website if they would like to look at it.
And we'll put that website up on the
Yes.
screen so they can see it.
Right.
So this is really the stage area.
This is Buncombe Lamar Lunsford Stage,
Okay.
named after someone we all knew and we all love to this day,
Yeah.
and who has put traditional mountain music on the map nationwide.
Mountain
And-
Dance and Folk Festival.
Yes, indeed,
Okay.
and worked with the Shindig folks, and just made a scholar and a person who made enormous contributions to this area.
So when this is finished, and I'm going to ask you about that in a few minutes, when this is finished and done, Shindig will come here.
We hope so.
Hope so.
We have invited them to come here.
And other acts will come here. And
Oh,
performers
absolutely.
will come here. And will it be, this is question number 2 on the list, will it be free to the public?
Absolutely.
So you're not going to put a fence back up and charge people to get in?
No, no. I mean, it's possible that sometime 20 years from now, somebody might have a paid event on the square, but this is a public park.
Thank you. Public
It's a
park.
public park.
Open to come and sit and eat your lunch here if you want
Absolutely,
to.
absolutely.
Use it however you want to.
Use it, well, within
There will be a
limits.
manager of the park.
Yes, there will be
Right.
a park ranger.
Good.
Yeah.
There will be a park ranger. That's even better.
Yeah, and we'd like people to enjoy the park, and we'd like them to help us take care of the park. And as much as I admire people who are skateboard artists, we can't have skateboarding tearing up
Sure.
our park elements in the
Right.
park.
So there will be some guidelines.
Yeah, there
For
will
the
be
park.
some guidelines, but the best thing is there's an invitation.
Right.
There's an invitation, and most of the events in the park will be booked by the people at the Parks and Rec department at the city.
Right.
And this rental of this space will be handled just as it was before we began construction.
Right, because there was a stage here, and there
Right.
was here
Right.
before.
Right.
Okay.
So what happens is we're building the park, and as we finish each portion of the park, the city comes out and approves the work, and then we hand it over to them.
Okay.
And it goes back to the city. Basically, Pack Square Conservancy was founded in 2000 for the sole purpose of raising money for this park, planning it, designing it, building it, and over the long term, helping with programming and capital improvements and preserving basically the investment of the people who have donated to the park.
Right, makes sense. But before I ask you when you think it might be done, I want to ask you about some other elements of the park.
Sure.
One, it's behind us over here, and we'll show it, is the dancing water. Now, you guys don't call it the dancing water, but number 3 question was, is the dancing water really going to dance, and can we get in it like they do in Centennial Park in Atlanta, or is it just something that the water's going to shoot up and you sit and watch it?
Well, I don't expect we could keep people out of it, even if we tried. I know that I intend, it's for the young and the young at heart.
Okay.
And it is a very wide paved area, circular, with 21 spouts embedded in the paving, and it's going to shoot water straight up in the air. Very similar to what's at Centennial Park and lots of other major parks in the country.
Right.
And it will be interactive. You can walk through it, and it will be, I think, a welcome spot on a hot summer day.
Right. But you guys are calling it...
Well, we're calling it Splashville, and we're calling it Splashville because the folks at the Buncombe County Tourism Development Authority made a donation to obtain the naming rights for that piece, and they named it, I think it's a wonderful name that celebrates the spirit of this community. Lots of elements, all the other elements in the park are named for people so far, and for instance, Lunsford Stage. And that is, I think, important because those people like Buncombe Lamar Lunsford, contributed so much to our community and to a much larger community than that, to the artistic community, that I think it's appropriate for us to honor them in perpetuity. Splashville, I think, honors the spirit of fun that makes our community such a fun place.
So there will be
place.
dancing water in Splashville.
I expect there will be all kinds of shenanigans.
I can't wait to see that.
It's going to be great fun.
Yeah. And then on either side of that, it's terraced up.
Yep.
Places to sit.
Yep.
Okay.
Seating walls.
Sitting walls. And then the green behind that is beautiful.
Yep.
Part of it's done. We're going to show film of the rest of it as it's done.
Yes.
Being put in. And then as you move on up from that, there was going to be a pavilion.
Right, in
So,
Mid-Park. And Mid-Park will be called Reuter Terrace.
Okay. What's the status of that? I know y'all kind of
We are
put
going to
that on
go
hold.
forward with the pavilion, and we're still working out the details on that. We hope that Mid-Park itself, in terms of the landscaping and everything, will be done by the end of the year or shortly thereafter.
Okay.
And we're going to do it as quickly as we can. And the pavilion, we're going to finish as quickly as we can. But as you know, the economy has waylaid the best of plans, and so we've had to sort of step back and take a look at our cash flow and you know, do what's prudent financially.
But in the meantime, landscaping continues, and
Absolutely,
it will.
absolutely.
That's good.
And what's going to happen in the park in the next, just what is happening right now, is that there's just a few things being finished in Pack Square. I think you're going to show your viewers the installation of the final piece of Hoss Haley's bronze and stone fountain, which weighs about 8,000 pounds. Just the bronze weighs 8,000 pounds, never mind the stone. And so we've got just a few fenced areas remaining in Pack Square. We're going to take those down. That whole area is going to be completely open by the end of July.
So when they're seeing this, that area hopefully will be open to the public.
Yes, it should be, unless we have some problem that we don't know about.
So that's where this part continues, from where we're standing through Mid-Park and then on up in front of the old Axona Biltmore building. That is a part of this park, and that's where this massive bronze statue. It used to be where the fountain was.
Yes.
And the fountain's now gone, and this new fountain is there.
Right, and there have been fountains there for more than 220 years. Very interesting.
Thank you for bringing that up. I did find that. That's always been a fountain there.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
That's
and
cool.
this is a new kind of fountain. It's kind of elemental, you know, with stone and bronze, and it's just beautiful.
Yeah, people should come down and see it.
I think so.
That's right. And one more element, and then I'm going to ask you the big question. Behind us is, they're working on it as we speak, is the Veterans Memorial. And it's an edge of the park.
Right.
Is that placed there strategically? It's there by choice? It's not really inside this park, it's on the edge. That was a question somebody had, is why is it on the edge and not actually here?
Well, it's part of the park. I mean, the park goes right up to the sidewalk on College Street.
That maybe it's just a feeling from not being in here, because now that I'm standing inside the fence, it is part of the park.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, I think the advantage of its placement is that it's in front of the courthouse, and it's close to our official government buildings.
Right.
And it's in a place of honor. There'll be a flag there, and there'll be places to sit, and it will also be convenient to the stage.
Okay.
So if there are events that have to do with the Veterans Memorial, for which a stage is needed, speech or something like that, they can just walk right over and be here.
Right.
So it's
for
part of the
Memorial Day
hardscape. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Sure. And I think one of the things people need to remember about the park right now is it looks kind of raw. It's kind of like a new house. You look, and the trees are not as big as they'll be, and the shrubbery hasn't filled in. But it's amazing how greenery integrates all the pieces of a place like this.
It does. And you can't build it for the future. It's built today to grow into the future.
Although I must say, some of the trees that we've put in are quite significant in size.
They really are.
Those
They're
are
pretty.
Yeah. Those we are going to work hard to take care of those trees, because they are large trees.
They are.
Be
Here's the big question.
All right.
When will it be done?
All right. I think Pack Square, I think we're going to finish up the details in Pack Square by the end of July.
Okay.
Which is the month we're talking in, perhaps not the month we're being seen in.
Right.
We're in Roger McGuire Green, which is where the stage, the Veterans Memorial, and the lawn are, and the seating area and Splashville. That area will probably be finished a week or so later,
Wow.
And so we're expecting the green to be done by mid-August or so.
Wow. So when people are seeing us, you're watching now, come on down.
Right.
We're hoping fences are gone.
Right.
And it's open.
And
excellent.
remember that finishing up the details in a space like this is kind of like moving.
Yeah.
Remember how it is to move? You pack up everything you think and you put it in the truck, and then you go back in the house and you open a cabinet you completely forgot about.
Yeah.
Well, there will undoubtedly be some last minute details
Oh,
in
sure.
this area. For instance, when we got the tiles for Splashville, they were the wrong size and we had to send them back. So that's why they're not finished with that.
Right.
And those things happen.
Sure.
And if you, you can get out of sorts about it if you want to, but at this point we can't afford that.
Yeah.
We just need to move forward.
That's a very short timeline, though. I mean, by September,
September-
even with delay, September, you hope to be here.
This space we're standing on will
Right.
be open to the public.
Right.
The lawn will be roped off through the end of the year. People
Good.
will be able to walk around it, but one of the things we're doing that's actually quite expensive but is a complete transformation is putting in turf,
yeah.
rather than seeding the grass. So what that means is that I think tomorrow morning, which would be about July 14th, Bastille Day, we'll celebrate Bastille Day by putting in the rest of our turf.
Yeah, we'll get some footage.
In the
Hopefully we're
green.
showing the folks what that looks
That'll
like now.
be great fun because I watched them as they install the turf on the north flank
Right.
of the park.
Beautiful.
And it's just so, it just gets your attention.
It finishes it.
It does.
It does.
It does. It's a completely different looking place.
Well, and I'm glad you're opening it off, because we would hate to see all that beautiful grass put down and then too many people anxious to use it.
Sure.
And you lose it. So,
And we're anxious to use it. So
Sure.
it's hard for us to wait
Sure.
too. We're anxious to have it. And I think people have been very patient waiting for the park. And we appreciate that. It's an investment. It's an investment. And it will be here for, 150 or 200 years.
Yeah.
And I just think it's worth every bit of care we put into it.
So let's say this is done by September. Mid-park then would be landscaped, and that's probably the last piece to be
Mid-park
finished.
will be the last piece. We're
Okay.
going to have, by the end of July, Pack Square is going to be done.
Right.
But by middle of August, 1st of September, this space right here will be open.
Right.
People will be able to walk around the perimeter of the lawn, but they
Right.
won't be able to go on the lawn.
Right.
And we're doing that so that the turf can become established.
Right.
And so, but they'll be able to see it.
Right.
And it's going to look glorious.
Right. And then mid-park will be in
And
the
mid-park,
works.
once we get these two sections of the park done, all of our focus is
Yeah.
going to go into mid-park, and you're going to see us moving up the hill.
So a very long haul. You're almost to the end of it.
Yeah, we are. And as a community,
Yeah.
we're nearing the end of it, because you can't do something like this without the community joining in the spirit of it. I mean, the county has made a significant donation to this park because they know that this is their front lawn. I mean, this is your most significant building, and this is your front yard. And this is a place of celebration. It's a place of building a sense of community.
Yeah.
And it's a place where new opportunities will arise because of what has happened in this park.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. It's really, really beautiful. It's
Well,
really coming
glad
together.
I'm glad that you like it. I really am, and I just love having the chance to share our enthusiasm for the park with your viewers.
Yeah, and no matter who I asked, no matter what question they had, they were always saying, we want it to be finished.
Yes.
So they're excited to get in here
Yes.
and see it. It's,
Yes.
absolutely.
Well, we want to finish it too because we want to move from the construction phase into programming,
Right.
which will be great fun. And as I say, people who want to have events in the park will schedule those events through City Parks and Rec, but the Conservancy is also going to have some signature events in the park.
Right.
And I'm, working with a whole committee of people just to brainstorm about fun things we can do that maybe serve some underserved populations or create some new opportunities that we haven't had before. Just to sort of think about new ways that we can use this revitalized space.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah.
So if folks at home, we urge them, you're seeing this in August, come down, check it out, walk around it, look at it. You'll be impressed. And if they want to know more, packsquarepark.org
Yes, indeed.
is your website. They can go on there and
Yes.
see what this is all going to look like,
Right.
and come down and check it out.
Right.
Is there anything else you want our folks to know at home?
Well, I'd just like to thank people for their support. I mean, we've gotten a lot of donations from people in this community, both business and private and foundation and government. And we've raised about $16.3 million. We've got a little bit left to raise. We're doing some cost cutting in our plans, just like everybody's doing in their own home and in government buildings.
That's right.
It's not a fun time, but we're trying to be as prudent and as frugal as we can and still get the job done.
Right.
So we really appreciate the people who have gotten us this far, and that includes the county.
Thank you.
That's a wonderful, generous gift that the county, it's an investment in the community,
Yeah.
and
So
an investment on behalf of the people of Buncombe County.
that's right. It's an investment on the behalf of the people of Buncombe County. So it's your park. You heard it. Come down here and check it out. If you want to know more, they can give you a call, and we'll put your information up there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Call us anytime.
Okay. So stay tuned.
My name is Robert Powell and I'm from Special Olympics. If anybody wants to volunteer or come play any sports, come join us. And I would like to tell you some of the things that I do. I do bowling, track and field, and softball and golf. It is a very nice sport to do, and if you'll just call for reservations for Special Olympics, and especially for you coaches out there that has never coached before, just call and just say you want to coach, and I hope that you'll have fun. Don't be nervous. It's not about nervousness. It's about participating and having a good time with other people around the surrounding counties, and just don't be afraid. Just participate and have a good time.
And my name is Lauren Brown. I'm the area director for Special Olympics North Carolina. And Buncombe County is one of over 100 programs in the state that offers year-round sports programming to people with intellectual disabilities at no cost. And we have year-round sports. And I'd also like to introduce the coordinator for Special Olympics Buncombe County, Grace Young, and she can tell you how to get involved.
Hello, my name is Grace Young and I'm the coordinator for Special Olympics for Buncombe County. Would like to invite any and all coaches, athletes, and volunteers to join in the fun, participating in any and all of our games that are all year round. Please give me a call, 250-4265, for information and forms. Fall programming. Registration begins August the 1st of each year for bocce ball, soccer, soccer skills, golf, golf skills, and cycling. Winter programming. Registration begins October 1st of each year. Cheerleading, basketball, basketball skills, and alpine skiing. Spring game programming. Registration begins January the 1st of each year. Track and field. Summer games. Registration begins March 1st of each year. Softball, softball skills, volleyball, track and field, aquatics. Midsummer programming. Registration begins May 1st of each year. Bowling. So please join in. Give us a call at 250-4265.
You may know one of the biggest drug dealers in our community.
This drug dealer is supplying prescription medicine to the kids in our local schools.
Studies show that 1 in 5 teens have experienced prescription drugs. These drugs are the prescription medicine that's in everyone's home.
It can be medicine for pain relief, depression, muscle relaxers, allergies, or simply cough and cold medicines.
There are a few things you can do to keep these drugs out of kids' hands. Monitor your medicine, count the pills on a regular basis.
Don't keep the medicines where teens can find them. Keep them in a controlled area. Please be responsible for your prescription medicines.
And help keep them out of our schools.
Welcome back to Buncombe Life. I'm back here in Pack Square Park again, and as you can hear in the background, it's kind of noisy out here today. They are working furiously to get this park open for your enjoyment. We just wanted to come back just for a second and point out a couple of things that when I talked with Donna Clark, she mentioned, and we didn't really show you, I didn't think enough, and she told me these things after we stopped the cameras, and so I just wanted you to know something about these tiles along the bottom here. These tiles that were done here, they were done with Kathy Triplett, who's one of the local artists. She actually went into the middle schools here in Buncombe County, and each one of these tiles are different. Every single one is different, and they were done by middle school students. So when you come down, make sure you take time to see these tiles. They're beautiful. And as I walked around and looked at them, I actually picked out a couple that were my favorite. I just thought they were so beautiful. Kathy Triplett, also that local artist, did all of this sculpting back here. All of these things were individually done and brought in here, as well as the blue tiles here that we're standing on that have now been sunk down into the platform here. A couple more things we wanted you to know that she told me about that I thought were just amazing. Up here on the platform where the performers will stand, that's going to be a wooden floor. So when you clog, when you dance, when you do that on a wooden floor, it just gives you that little bit of kind of like being in an auditorium. They're going to do that up there. That'll be fabulous. It's not there yet, but maybe the time you get a chance to come down, it'll be all complete. Also, Hoss Haley is the one that is going to do the pergola, that new word I learned. It's going to go up here. Hopefully that'll be installed by the time you're here. If not, come on down and check this out. He's also the one that did the 8,000-pound piece of bronze that circles the fountain that's up in Pack Square, on Pack Square in front of the Biltmore building. That thing has now been installed. Hopefully very soon the water will begin to run over that. Come down and look at it. There's rocks in the middle, then there's his 8,000-pound bronze sculpture the water will run over. And that is supposed to reflect the mountains and fog that settles down on our mountains and how beautiful it is. And it really is a beautiful piece of art. They're very proud of the park. We want you to come and check it out because like Donna and I said, it does belong to you as a taxpayer, as a citizen here in Buncombe County. The grass is already in here. It's really coming together. We encourage you to come on down and check it out. And to learn more about Pack Square Park, log on to their website, give them a call, ask them about it. It's your park, so come and enjoy. We also want you to stay tuned next month for Buncombe Life and tune back in because we're going to be talking to one of our local detectives about the graffiti problem. Now, if you don't know that problem, you've not been out and about. Graffiti is everywhere. He's going to tell us what it means, how to read it, and what it means to you and I as citizens and how they're working hard to get on top of that problem here. So you'll want to stay tuned next month too. So once again, thank you for tuning in to Buncombe Live.